This is Karen with NewClevelandRadio.net, and it is time for The Rant with BarbaraRose Brooker, who is an author. She is the founder of agemarch.org, and we want everybody to get out to agemarch.org. Sometimes it's a mouthful to say, because there's a lot of wonderful things going on out there. And the big thing is we're going to have a virtual march this year, and we'll talk more about that over the next coming weeks. Also, Barbara has 2 wonderful books out, and I hope that you will check them out. But her newest book, Love Sometimes. I got that right?
Absolutely.
I'm on my second read of it because I missed so much in the beginning. I was so excited to get through it, Barbara, that I had to go back and read it again. And I know you're working on some big projects. And one project is that you want to be a movie star. And that's going to happen one of these days. So welcome to New Cleveland Radio. And Barbara, tell us about your guest today.
Oh my God, I am so thrilled to have Jeannie Ralston, who is just fabulosity for all you women of all ages. Like I say, I'm 83. Now what Jeannie is doing, Jeannie is the founder and editor of Next Tribe, our digital magazine. And Jeannie is in touch with women all around the country. Her motto is live boldly. And
age boldly.
I meant age boldly, yes. And I love that. Because that's something that I believe of all ages we have to do. So Jeannie, why don't you tell us how you came up with Next Tribe? I like that whole tribe and the image of tribe and the age boldly. Let's go from there.
Well, I've been a magazine journalism for most of my adult life. So
right.
After my youngest son went to college, I was hanging around kind of trying to figure out, well, what do you do now? Because I had worked the whole time my kids were growing up, but I was a very hands-on mom. I was all about the mothering thing. And then all of a sudden I'm not sure what to do with myself. And I went online to look and see, well, what's out there for people like me? And I just didn't like what I saw. I thought if people were either sites I found were either too earnest, too new agey, or they were for people who, they made you feel like you were already had one foot in the grave. And I don't get it. I feel as young as ever. I feel like we're 29 inside, and I still hang out with my friends all the time. We do wild things. We go to dinner. We laugh. We drink too much. We go on road trips. And there was nothing out there that I felt like spoke to women like me, kind of 45 up, who were just grasping for more life and kind of trying to squeeze all the juice out of it still. We weren't ready to be shuffled off to the sideline. We were like taking the stage. So that was behind the idea, and is just grasping that spirit, trying to convey that spirit and encourage women like that.
How long ago was this?
It was like 3.5 years ago that we started. And one great thing of having been in magazine journalism for so long is that I have a lot of good friends in magazine journalism. And so I got the top writers. I got my dream writers, like Sheila Weller and Annabelle Gurwitch and Amy Lee Ball, all there were. I'm Marion Winnick. I'm going to forget all of them, but there's so many. And so I just called them up and we started working. I started working with Janet Soroto, who's somebody I met when I was in college. And I did have some money. I had an investor, so I was able to pay writers, which of course I felt very strongly about, having, being a writer, freelance writer for so long. And we got it going that way. And we got the tone right. I got the voice right, which was really important to me to get that right.
Well, not only did you write for Allure magazine and all the top magazines is what I want to say, but you know what, 3.5 years ago, Jeannie, you hit it. You were really, because I have experienced decades of ageism when nobody would even listen. I had to wear a tag that said reentry woman when I went back to grad school to get, more degrees. So the thing is, 3.5 years ago, it's perfect because now you're really right there. For women when you say 45 up, it's all ages. I mean, women.
Yes, it's all ages. We're not like, it's the spirit that connects our readers,
Yes.
not the actual age. And I think that's important because we have women like you who, you said you were in your 80s or no, 70s?
Yes.
Yeah. So we have women like you, your spirit, it's what connects us here right now. And I have come up with a term for my Next Tribe readers. I call them yes women, and it means yes. They're going to say yes to life, yes to challenges, yes to, and I just love that there's no like, I don't know. It's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's bring it on. And so we've grown from just being a online magazine. We do in-person events. We have in-person community here in Austin. Well, not at the moment, if you know what I mean, but there is an in-person in Austin. It's like we're based in Austin, so it's our test market. We want to do this all over the country. Is have places in, have groups in big cities or major cities where women can gather in person and connect with each other and the like-minded women. And these are the women who are like, bring it on. And so we also do trips. So I've done a lot of trips. That's part of my background is as a travel journalist. So I'm able to plan trips. I kind of have an idea, I think, of what people might like. And they've been so successful. We've sold them out. People come back. Like we do one retreat every March, first week of March. And we've sold it out every time. We have people who come back, because we've done it for 3 years. So people who've done it all 3 years. And that's when I started, the first time we did that retreat, that's when I came up with this yes woman. Like you guys, like there were some people who were just like not sure where they were going or whatever, but it sounded great and they were up for something new and they were like, yeah, okay. So that's what I kind of think.
It's so wonderful that you're letting them live age bold to do things that they think because they're 50 or they're 60 that they're invisible and all shrunken up now.
No.
That is so wonderful that you're doing that.
What I also, from the very beginning, I tried, when I was talking about getting the tone right, I wanted it to be kind of irreverent, like kind of the opposite of earnest, because anything that's too earnest to me is like, it's not real. It's not real. And I wanted it to be real. And when you talk with your friends and everything, you laugh. And I wanted that and at this age, we've seen so much, it's like, oh God, let's not be prudish about, let's just like look at what's really happening and embrace it, laugh at it and as necessary. Because, my mom is 91 and she's kind of my role model, but she's always said to me, if you grow old without a sense of humor, there's no hope for you. And so that's been kind of like in the back of my mind the whole time. It's just kind of like.
That's a great motto to live by.
Yes, so I have heard of that.
I love that because what is old? It's just a label. It's just a label. Now, are you finding that you're getting, what is the age group that you're finding mostly who are gravitating towards you?
I would say that it's kind of like probably 50 to 65 is the core group. But as I said, it's open. It's open and it's the spirit. It's for
spirit. It's ageless. It really
it's ageless. And a lot of times I don't like to even we've done different things like reader focused on reader of the week, or people telling us their menopause stories, because we have a whole section like that, and then people telling us their reinvention stories, all these things. But I don't ever ask anybody's age because that really doesn't matter, does it?
That's the, oh, Jeannie, oh, listeners, you all have to digest what she just said, because age doesn't matter.
It does, and so I don't even want to get into. I don't want to
Right.
get into that, unless there's some reason that it's relevant, like it's somebody's birthday or whatever. Then yeah, but
Right.
it's not relevant. It's just like, okay, it's you're who you are, and it's what's inside you that matters. And
And Jeannie, how people always say, oh, age is only a number. And I always say, no, it's not. It's really who you are.
right,
It's your energy and your spirit, whether you're 100 or 30 or whatever. So you're expanding, you're bringing people in, and this is a way to defy ageism.
right. And so there's a couple. Well, we should know that we're forming a group that I'm calling Next Tribe Acts, and it's going to be more of an activist arm. So because it's one thing to write about all this, and we just published a story about just today about how women this age group 45 and older are going to take the brunt of the economic downturn. I mean, it is the people are going to be using COVID as an excuse to fire people, the older people. Just heard today, it's completely unrelated, from one of my good friends in New York. She's just lost her job. She was the top, very high position in fashion, but they brought the younger kids back because they're cheaper. And so anyway, so these are the these things. It makes me angry, and it makes a lot of people angry. And we talk about ageism a lot, but it's the double whammy of ageism and sexism together. And we've done events, when we do big live events across the country, New York, LA, Dallas, Austin, and we had many more on the schedule this year, but that didn't come through. But we do live events where we call it our screw invisibility events, because it's like, screw invisibility, what are you talking about? We're gonna make some noise here. And we bring in all these accomplished women, like Kathleen Kennedy Townsend was one of our speakers, and out in LA, and Linda Wells from Allure, and Carrie Lowell, E.Jean Carroll, sorry. Different women like that. And what the point is to show what's possible at this age. There's just limitless possibilities. And the events I try to make, they're fun events. They're not rants like, I'm so angry. It's more like, yay, we are something, we're going, and people leave charged up. So once we can go out again, we will pick those up again. That's really important. So it's important on all aspects. I mean, the activism part is important, and you're doing the age march, which I think is fabulous, and we're going to promote that once we get a date and everything. But I think it's also to we can channel any kind of frustration to that, but we also need to, on the other side, need to be celebrating who we are and what we are, and look at optimistic about our possibilities.
Yeah, I was on one of your webinars not too long ago when Sherry was your host, okay? And what I was really amazed at, and I sat back and just listened because I love Sherry and I wanted to hear what she had to say and how people responded. But I was amazed at the age range that was on that day. And also how people perceived themselves. A couple women said, they had to go put their makeup on and, be all ready for it. Others, they were in their kitchen, like walking around with a pad because there were other people around. And what I loved about it is that women now are finally starting to say, I'm worth me.
Yes.
Okay. It's not what you see in me, but if I can tell you what I'm worth, then I'm a much better person for that. And it's not bragging. It's finding that.
That's such a great observation. And it's true. It's like and the thing I like to point out to women is we've all done so much in our lives. At this age, we've had different careers or different variations of our careers, but nothing was wasted. It all comes back, like the things we did when we were younger. All of a sudden, like, oh, you you think, oh, I can do that. I've already done something like that. You have such great experience.
Yes.
And that happened for me because when I was doing Next Tribe, because I had that writing career and editing, but
Yeah.
I also was
On the farm.
I was a lavender farmer, wrote a memoir about that. So I was an entrepreneur, and I at the lavender farm, we used to put on big events. So I was doing events. So I had that experience. It didn't freak me out. And then as a travel writer, and also
And also a memoir in the memoirs.
Yes. So everything kind of comes together, and so what I think is important is that we all are such a great, at this age, what's so wonderful is we have so much inside, so much experience, so much that we've done, so many stories, and that makes us so much more interesting. And when I say that genuinely, not just like, as a little platitude, but really, if you think about the stories what you've seen and what you've done in your life and who you interacted with, you've got all kinds of great material, which is why we have a lot of women who are interested in writing. And we're starting this fall, actually at the end of August, we're going to start doing writing workshops. So we have lots of writing workshops planned, and we have the great writers. Again, we have the great writers that we know. I'm in the process of setting it all up, helping women tell their stories, because
I love that.
I
love that. Because like you say, Jeannie, there's so many stories. We're just filled with the stories, wanting to get the voices out. That's what you're doing. You're helping women get their voices out. And I love what you said. There's one word you said that I love. When you said, yay! I mean, isn't that great that we can say, yay, I am, yay.
Yes, exactly.
The number. You're doing so much. I just love what you're doing. There's so many people out there who talk about, well, you'll have to excuse me for saying this, but I really hate the word ageism because it's become such like a topic cliche.
Right, yes.
You're really doing something where you're bringing the spirit and the energy, and you have it yourself that comes through the spirit.
Thank you, Mom. That's from my mom. I should also mention that another element, we have the articles are free. We do our virtual. So as soon as the pandemic hit, we switched all the live events. We switched them to virtual events, and then we just kept doing. I was doing 2 interviews a week on virtual event through the spring, and then we have yoga classes and cooking classes and all
How
this.
do you do it all? Because you're married, your son's in college.
No, they're both graduated, but one came home and did his senior, last part of his senior year, which that was very stressful to have him home and be very upset that he was home. But one thing we've done too is to start a group, a members group, there's a membership. It's $39 a year. And what we do with that is when we do these interviews with, like, we just finished an interview with Marta Kaufman, who is the co-creator of Friends and of Grace and Frankie.
Yeah.
So we just had her. And if you're a member, you can come into the event 15 minutes early and just chat, a very very low-key chat. And so that's really nice. And that sold out. I put aside tickets just for members, so they get that. And then we have, once we do those writing workshops and our trips and our live events, members get discounts. There's all kinds of other perks that you get as a member. Plus, you're helping us fulfill our mission. And so I really would encourage people to try.
I'm going to be the oldest one to join.
No, you won't. My mom would be the oldest.
Your mom and I am joining. I want to show women who are my age, who are acting like, oh, it's all over, or they can't do this or do this, that it's not true.
It's not.
Jeannie is doing this through Next Tribe.
Yes, so we're at nexttribe.com. Yes,
nexttribe.com. Tell the listeners now how they can find you and, well, you have, but.
So on nexttribe.com, we have all of our articles on the front, the homepage. They're all categorized. We also have way to become a member. We have listing of our virtual events. We have our listing of our trips coming up. We're still trying to do, we canceled a trip in September, but in October we have a trip to Marfa and Big Bend, and I have all these safety precautions in place for that. And so we're still trying. It's going to be a small group of like 10 people. So we're still hoping. We'll see. And so that you'll see that. And then we have for people, if you want to maybe make some money. I know this is, but we have something called a Next Tribe Ambassador, so that if you have you become an ambassador, and then if you refer members, you get $10 for every member that joins. So anyway, it's like. It's pocket money.
But it's so wonderful what you're doing. You're creating a planet now for Age Bold. You really are. It's a whole new culture. It's a culture. Well, it's not anti-age. It's pro-age.
It's absolutely pro-aging, and and we have a lot of great companies that are coming around to recognize that what we're doing. I mean, we've had sponsorships and people who like that spirit, companies that like that spirit, and we respect that there are companies out there who don't want to play on our insecurities or on our every ache and pain, but wants to celebrate that women, there are women like us who are vibrant, and we have lots to offer. So
it's so wonderful. I'm a fan, and I'm going to be a member, and I'm going to tell everybody about this.
You should become an ambassador, and you can make some mailbox money.
I my Starbucks takeout coffee. I just believe in what you're doing, and I'm really, really happy about it. And I can't thank you enough for giving us some time.
I like what you're doing. I think we're simpatico. And I'm so excited about your age march and want to support that. And
thank you so much. It's been a decade of putting it together, but I think it's coming together now. And so listeners, everybody who has met this fabulous Jeannie, and contact her and join Next Tribe and tell everybody about Next Tribe, because this is a way that we can support all ages. This is a way women can be, and we can all age bold.
Yes, age boldly.
We age boldly, yes.
Jeannie, I have a question for you though, before Barbara continues, because mostly it's women who are joining Next Tribe, correct?
It's for women.
Both. Okay, it's more women.
No, it's not for men. It's for women.
It's for women. And do you believe that it's men that have basically put us in this situation where we haven't aged boldly? Because I look at my mother, who passed away a couple years ago, but my father always looked at her as, you can do it, and was totally behind her. But I've known so many other men of that generation who stood behind their wives and said, no, you can't do it.
They want to keep them down.
It's my job.
I think it's if you want to trace it back to the patriarchy, I mean, if you want to get that, but I think it's very much a societal thing. What expectations we have on women as a society, and it's hard to break out because, so going back to my mother, I mean, wow, she could have run a company or been a senator or what. I mean, seriously, she's so smart, so, dynamic, but she raised kids, and thank God, I mean, there's 6 of us, she raised 6 kids, and we all turned out like we're
amazing.
We're not in jail. None of us have been in jail, but I think about her, what could she have accomplished if in a different time? So I think it's the times, and I think it's a shedding those societal expectations. And I think we're making progress. We've backslid a little.
Yeah.
in the last few years. But I think we're going to come roaring back. And actually the one of the, well, I had already, my co-founder and we'd already been planning Next Tribe in the fall of 2016. But what gave us a real push was how Hillary Clinton was treated. And I don't, you can not like her.
I love Hillary, and
Well, I know, but what I'm saying, it's not her particularly. She was kind of like, as a representative of an older woman, the way she was treated, just infuriated so many of us. And the way calling her grandma, just the kind of dismissals, and it I think that really it inflamed me, and I think it inflamed a lot of women. And so I think we had already been planning to launch, but we launched in the wake of that. And I think there was more of like trying to be proud of who we are, and not
celebrate
to that, not succumb to those kind of stereotypes of us as older women.
Well, we can all say yay right now, because we are it. Yes.
Yes, we are it. And I am pins and needles waiting for the vice presidential announcement.
Oh, I know, we're all waiting. And I think it's so important, because I'm actually from an era where the man was, I was raised to be a Jewish princess, marry a doctor, be taken care of, never do anything. And I crossed generations. And so many of my colleagues who haven't, or they're afraid to, they're still caught. Men are caught too, and there's still women. Oh my God, if I don't have the man, oh my God, I'm absolutely nothing. But you're doing it all. You're doing it all. So I'm not going to take any more of your time. I'm really excited about this. I feel like I entered a planet, a world that, oh, hello world. Oh, you're my people. Oh, thank God.
Your tribe.
It's my tribe. Let me in. I'm part of the tribe, even though I'm 83.
Yes, absolutely. And we did publish a story just the other day about, making the importance of friendship at this age, which we've written stories about how it's more important to your health than, not having friends is more damaging to your health than smoking a pack of cigarettes a day or something. So it's very important. And we published a story on Facebook. I got a comment from somebody saying, yes, but it's so hard to meet women, good friends right at this age. And I'm like, join Next Tribe. That's the point. That's what we're like.
Next Tribe, because even women will exclude women. It doesn't happen to me, because I won't allow it.
You don't allow it, right?
It happens to a lot where you're excluded. It becomes a club, a clique.
Yes, so, and I did write a story about that. I sent it to you, but we probably don't have time to talk about
that. Yes.
But the one about how we actually might be, making other women invisible. And we need to look at that. And it was a big wake up call. It's like, oh yeah, I expected to be invisible to men, but not to other women who just like, okay, she's not important anymore. She's not, it's like the cool, she's not in the cool girl club.
I did see something about that you said, which interested me, because it's so true. It's so true. So I don't want to take up any more of your time. This is so much valuable material to process. I just think you're wonderful.
Well, I think the same of you, Barbara. So, and Karen.
Oh, so, for listeners who want to get in touch with me and talk about the tribe or anything, go to www.BarbaraRoseBrooker.com, or you can meet me on some of my recent shows and TV shows and podcasts and things on there, or YouTube, and certainly Karen at Cleveland Radio. And age boldly.
Yes.
Yay!
That's wonderful. Absolutely. And Jeannie, we'll have to have you on again. And you can expect another membership coming through in the next 24 hours.
Thank you so much. I
Oh,
really,
me too. I'm going to do mine today.
every bit helps, and it's, I swear, you know, especially in these times, it's like so it really does help. And I should say, for anyone, we do, if somebody really is at these times when it's financially difficult, just if somebody wants to write and say they want to be part, but it's not in their budget right now, because we do understand that it's a hard time, just let me know. And we've got people who've made donations to say.
I will definitely. I will. Oh, and also everyone join agemarch.com. We have thousands who have joined now, and we're getting ready for the virtual. We don't know exactly when, but very soon. So stay safe.
Oh yes, you
Stay
too.
safe, stay beautiful, stay boldly, age boldly. I love that.
Thank you so much for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Have
Take
a great
care.
day. We'll see
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
We'll
Bye.
be back again
Bye,
next.
Karen.
Bye-bye.
Great seeing you.
Always great seeing you too.